Hello, today we are here with celebrity sport therapist Art Sand of Sport Massage Extreme. How's it going today?
Doing great. Thank you for having me here today.
Oh, it's awesome day. So can you tell me a brief history about how you became a celebrity sport therapist?
Sure. I've been in the business for about 12 years, and I'm considered one of the best sports therapists today. I work with world-class athletes, MMA fighters, and of course, some celebs.
Well, I'm based out of Houston, Art, and it's very hot and humid. And spring and
I've been
summer
to
is
Texas.
so hard to work out. What would you recommend in stretches and how to get things going throughout that time of the year?
Absolutely. In hot climates like that, I would recommend early morning or late evening to do your workouts. And of course, pre-stretch and post-stretch is highly recommended. And that's what I would suggest. And of course, proper hydration between coconut water or regular water.
So how can one find a good therapist?
Well, your thing would be, do you want to find a good therapist or a great therapist? For starters, one, you want to check the references. You want to go on Yelp. And also you want to definitely find out who's referring and recommending them. Is it a chiropractor? Is it a doctor? Is it other athletes? They're very specific to what you do.
You know, after an injury, what would you suggest, ice or a heating pad?
Well, always recommended to do what they call RICE, rest, ice, and elevation. So.
Well, if I came to see you, Art, how long will our appointment last?
Well, my sessions are typically 2-hour sessions, just so you know. The initial session would include an assessment, which I would do while standing and also while on the table, and then I can identify which is your primary and your secondary injuries, and we can begin therapy then.
Do you have to be a celebrity or an athlete to get your services?
Absolutely not. I work with weekend warriors, housewives, executives, on up to some celebs.
So what would happen once our session is completed, our therapy session?
Well, again, usually my clients that I see have chronic or acute sports-related injuries, so that would probably take us anywhere between 10 hours to even up to 20 hours. Throughout those times I'm seeing this individual, what I would be doing is giving them instructions, giving them homework, giving them some stretch and release techniques for them to continue the healing process between sessions.
Well, how can the viewers at home find you online so that way they can also receive treatment and services from you?
Absolutely. I can be found on celebritysportstherapist.com, and I'm here in downtown Los Angeles. And I'm worth the flight and I'm worth the drive.
Well, there you go. You heard it today with celebrity sport therapist Art Sand. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you today.
Likewise.
Thank you. Now
Thank
let's go check out this presentation he's about to do.
Good. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to target the left shoulder because there's some instability there, and there's also some inflammation there in the shoulder and also in the forearm. So we're going to target that right now. So I'm going to begin with some compressions. So take a deep breath for me, Susan, and I'm going to go ahead and press. And did you feel that little release that just took place? So as I'm increasing the pressure, continue breathing and exhaling for me. And how's that pressure feel? Good. So what I'm doing now is I'm releasing the forearm because there's inflammation right there. And earlier we had determined there was inflammation there, and also it was weak and unstable right there. So we're going to free up the elbow, which will take tension off the shoulder, and then I'll release the pec as well. And I'm going to increase the pressure here. I'm going to begin some pressure right in this area, which we did earlier, but we're going to do it again. And I'm going to take your wrist through various ranges of motion, and it's going to gradually release the tension in the tricep area. Pressure's good? Very good. Next, I'm going to compress the bicep area, and we're going to go